Hi traders, good evening and welcome to another edition of the Apex Alpha analysis. So I I haven't really made any videos lately and I apologize about that. But today I just want to talk briefly on just one currency pair and I'm going to talk briefly about the dollar index as well before I go to the currency pair. Now, the currency pair I'm talking about in question is the EURGBP. It's a cross currency pair. But let's have a quick look at the dollar index and see what's going on. So I have removed the indicators from this chart, and aside from the arrow indicators that tell me when there's an EMA cross, I took every other thing out. So I'm on the weekly chart and I'm just going to point out what's been going on, and you can see that by looking at these lines drawn here, these trend lines, you can see that we seem to be in a sort of diagonal channel. Okay, so because this is the weekly chart, let's focus on what the most current candle is doing as we're going into the new week, into the first week of March. So you can see here that the market has bounced off of an area of resistance. Okay, and is headed down toward this area of support. So it's been pretty consistent for the longest while, since August of last year, except for this jig here that dipped a little bit below. Every other thing points to the fact that this line is where the area of support is. So because this is the dollar index, if you are trading the dollar pairs that have the dollar as the majors, like the USD CAD, USD CHF, USD JPY, you might want to consider opportunities to sell for now. And if you are looking at the GBP USD, New Zealand USD, AUD USD, and so on, I'm just going to tell you that you should follow what your technical analysis shows you, because crazily enough, the GBP, the New Zealand USD, the AUD USD, they are all trending in the same direction as the dollar index, which is very strange. They are supposed to be going in the opposite direction. When the dollar is appreciating, they are supposed to be depreciating, and vice versa. So that is why I decided to look at just one currency pair today, because I haven't looked through all 28, but I stopped at the Euro GBP because it had a setup that I kind of liked. So I'm just going to switch to that now. So quickly, in conclusion, for the dollar index, until it gets to this line here, you are thinking sell. Okay, this is the weekly chart. So when the markets open tomorrow, please consider opportunities to sell if you are trading things like the USD CAD, USD CHF, and so on. So I'm just going to go to the Euro GBP chart right now, and this is the Euro GBP chart, the daily chart. So let's start from the weekly, the monthly, I mean, and see what we see. So this is the monthly chart, and if I were to go by what my indicators are telling me, I will say that the trend is down. Okay, and you can see we have a death cross here, and we had a bounce. Okay, the MACD trigger line touched the MACD line itself, and that also counts as a cross. So if we were to look at where that occurred in line with this death cross, you can see that we have what looks like a potential downward trend in the making. But right now you can see, this is the monthly chart, you can see that we seem to be bouncing off an area of support. So because we are going to concentrate on just this most current bullish candle, so we are going to concentrate on that. The trend may be down, but right now we are in a bounce. So let's have a look. And you know what I usually say about bounces? It tries to locate the 62% or 55% region, okay, of the most current or the last trend. So if I were to take the Fibonacci from here, and you will see that that line I drew previously was for the 62% region of this move. Okay, so I'm just going to tentatively believe that this bounce up might take us to this region, and of course we are talking about probably a couple of months. So we are going to just keep our eyes on this and see how it goes. After all, that's the monthly chart. So let's quickly go down to the weekly. And on the weekly, let's see. So this is what's been going on the weekly, and this was what caught my attention when I first came to this chart. So what do we see here? After this prolonged downtrend, okay, which also we can count the waves here. Okay, I can call this the first wave, second wave, and this can't be the third wave because it's too short. So this whole thing is the third wave. Okay, I can call this the fourth wave, and then this is the fifth wave. Or I can say this whole thing going on here, we are still in the fourth wave. Okay, but I want to believe, because you see this pattern here, something like this occurred here as well. You can see that after this double bottom situation, we had a golden cross and the market pushed up. So we are beginning to see something like that here, and MACD looks like it has given us a golden cross, okay, but not a very powerful one. I need to see something very pronounced like this, and of course we need to see a golden cross on the EMAs before we determine if the trend direction has changed. Nevertheless, I still believe that this market has the potential to push toward the 62% retracement of this move. So that is what I'm looking at, okay. Now this is the weekly chart, and you can see that the most current candle is extremely bullish. This is a continuation candle here, okay. And for candle enthusiasts, this red candle and this green constitute a reversal pattern, okay. I can't remember the name again, but I think this is called an inside bar or inside candle. I can't remember, but this constitutes as a reversal pattern, and this whole thing here constitutes a double bottom and also a 1 to 3 bottom or a wave bottom, because the low here is 0.82761 and the low here is 0.8281. So this low is actually lower than here, so we can actually call this a wave bottom situation. So we can easily plot our wave bottom calculator, our wave calculator there. And you can see that it gives us price targets to this region, and where I drew my line for the 62% retracement is the target 3. Now, even if the market decides not to go there and decides to probably get to the first target, that is still about 195 pips. So what I'm saying is, by doing the top-down analysis like this, we can still see the potential for making intraday profits. So let's go down to the daily chart now and see. So since we've determined that our bias for this week will be bullish, by coming down to the daily chart, we see a lot more definition. Now, for those of you who are very observant, you can easily tell that we already have our wave bottom situation here, and we are in the third wave. That's in this region, okay. We have everything working for us. The golden cross on the EMA, golden cross on the EMA, golden cross on the MACD. We had our wave bottom situation. We even had the green arrow telling us to buy, and you can see how strongly the market is pushing. It has pushed above this area of extreme resistance here. Doubtless there's going to be some battle here if it intends to go higher, but you can see we've already gone beyond the level of resistance here. So, but I'm looking at the big picture, okay. So the big picture here, we have a wave bottom situation, and by plotting the APAC, you can see that our first target in this region, which, as I originally showed you, just to the first target alone, we are looking at about 192 pips, give or take. So we are going to focus now on this region. Now we've established that we are in a wave bottom situation, okay, and counting waves, we are actually in the third wave right now. So I'm going to go down to the 4-hour chart, and we can see something better than that. And you here on the 4-hour chart, you can see the progression of the waves quite well. So this being the first leg, and this undulation here being the second, and now this is the third. So right now the market is currently on the third leg, okay. What I wanted to say in relation to that is, if we follow the law of alternation when we are talking about counting waves, because this thing here, this whole region here constituted a sort of zigzag, okay, consolidation, we can actually say that according to the law of alternation, the fourth wave is going to be steep, okay. If this had been a steep move, then this would have been a consolidation before we go on to the fifth wave. So because we have the consolidation here, then most likely um, the chances of the fourth wave being very steep will be very high. Okay, so by plotting the wave calculator or the APAC here now, you can see that we were able to successfully go through the first four targets, and you can see the market stop. Usually the third leg gets to the fourth target before getting into the fourth wave. So as we're going into this week, okay, the trend is bullish on the Euro GBP, but expect consolidation in this area, expect downward move. Okay, so even though you are thinking buy, think buy in the long term sense. Okay, but in the short term sense, like intraday trades for Monday, Tuesday, you may want to wait for an opportunity to take a short trade here. Okay, how far it will go in an ideal situation, from there we should see a situation that will bring us to either this region here, which is good for about 121 pips, or even as low as the second wave region, which will now give us something in the region of about 200 plus pips. Okay, but right now you can see how the MACD lines are separated and trending strongly upward. The EMA lines are separated and trending strongly upward. So you do not really want to think of sell, but the only thing I can say about this is when the market moves like this in an extreme manner, expect a sharp downswing. Okay, so that will surely happen. If it's going to happen on Monday, I don't know, but I will keep my eye open for a situation for this move to come down sharply. So how are you going to get into this trade? Well, let's go to the 1 hour chart and see what we see. And I'll just refresh my chart here. Let's see if we can get, okay, so now the chart is refreshed. All right, so you can see this is what's going on. All right, so my recommendation is when the markets open, why not wait and see what goes on here? I could be wrong and the market could just consolidate here just like it did here and then continue upward, but I want to believe, based on my observation of the market, that we are going to get something of a wave top situation somewhere in this region of the fourth target, and then we are going to get a push down. So if we were to get a push down, I'll just delete the calculation here. So if we were to get a push down, how far will the market go? So we'll just take our Fibonacci retracements from here again, and I will think we are looking at somewhere in this region. All right, so that is something's around between 130 139 pips. Anyway, just wait for indications to tell you whether to buy or sell. Okay, in the long term, think buy. In the short term, wait for a good opportunity to take a short-term counter trend. Okay, be careful, it's a counter trend, but at the same time, it's the pip count is big enough for you to actually think of taking this trade. All right, by going lower to the 1 hour chart or even lower to the 15-minute or 30-minute chart. Okay, now let me go to the 30-minute chart and see if I can. My internet is rather slow, sorry, so it's lagging. I can't seem to, it hasn't really, has it? I don't think, okay, I think it has. All right, so you can see this is a 30-minute chart, so there's a lot more definition here. Okay, but the only side effect of this is that you are going to get a lot of fake outs. You are going to get a lot of golden crosses, dead crosses, so you do have to be careful. I believe in using the 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute charts for entry, okay, not to determine trend direction. So if I believe that I'm going to get a short-term move downward tomorrow being Monday, between Monday and Tuesday, then I might want to stay on the 30-minute charts to just get the wave top situation and enter early. Okay, so that's my take here on the Euro GBP. And please, if you have any question, do not hesitate to send me a query. You can get me on apexalphawavetrader@gmail.com, or you can just post your questions in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to answer all your queries. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe for more videos like this, and if you have subscribed, click on the bell icon, and you will get notifications as these videos are churned out by me on a periodic basis. So thank you very much for listening, and here's wishing you a happy trading week, and blessings all around. So thank you very much.